The Supreme Court has pronounced its landmark judgment on the much controversial triple talaq case. The case has been hailed by Muslim women all across the country as a landmark judgment.
As mentioned by you, it is a historic and a landmark judgment because this paves the way for a lot of social reform, which was the urgent requirement of Indian Muslim women, especially the kind of prosecution they have suffered on the basis of matters like triple talaq. In an instant, Muslim men used to utter the word talaq thrice, and thereafter Muslim women were either divorced and the future of their children was hanging in balance. This constitutional provision, which has now been enforced with the help of Supreme Court's judgment, will now give the Indian state a lot of leverage in initiating social reforms which are a much needed aspect of Muslim community. The court has held that the Act of 1937, which converted the Sharia law or treated the Sharia law as personal law, mandates that Sharia doesn't become the personal law for Muslim community, and that it is a statute of the government. Therefore, not just the court, but the government of India has the right to amend the same, which paves the way thereafter for the legislature to go in and enact a fresh law which will deal with matters of divorce, marriage and inheritance, the three aspects which are governed by the personal law of the various communities which reside in India. It is a known fact that the Hindu Marriage Act denotifies each and every aspect of inheritance, marriage and divorce. Just like the Christian Marriage Act denotifies the three aspects, it is only the Islamic aspect of Indian community which was not hereafter dealt with. Once this can also be undertaken by the government through its legislative process, we can move towards a system of a so-called uniform civil code. In effect, the court has actually paved the way for the government to enforce either a uniform civil code or at least codify the various personal laws, which will then give a lot of relief to not just women but to children born thereafter from the marriages. So this is one of the biggest reform movements which has happened after the Hindu Marriage Act, which made dowry a culpable offence, and with Article 498A putting all men and women who were instrumental in seeking dowry from a married woman behind bars. This is one of the biggest landmark judgments. As a matter of fact, this should be seen in the light of the fact that there was an unsuccessful attempt during Rajiv Gandhi's tenure with Shahbano case. So if you look at it in totality, for the Muslim community, this is the first major step towards a reform which was much needed and desired.